On April 2nd, severe storms tore through our region, leaving people with debris-littered yards, thousands without power, and many with damaged homes or cars.
I saw this tree just smash right on top. I saw my hazard lights come on, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Back of my house is pretty much destroyed. The car has been destroyed.
But you can see the track of how the wind rolled right through here.
On June 6th, FEMA opened several disaster recovery centers for in-person help applying for disaster assistance, and dozens were helped in Fayette County alone.
The Small Business Association was here for a while as well, and sometimes it's better for people to come in and see a face before they apply, because there's a lot of scammers when disasters happen, and people are worried about that.
Cisco Road was one of the places in Lexington directly in the line of the storm. You can still see a few of the remnants left behind. And with Lexington Emergency Management, Emily Fay says their office was actually impacted as well.
We saw a lot of damage in the area, but thankfully we were prepared and we were ready. We activated the Emergency Operations Center and were able to help coordinate, get help to those who needed it.
Now, this DRC will close after business hours on Monday, but you can still visit any other open DRCs in the state or call the FEMA helpline and ask your questions whenever you need to.
It's not over yet. People are still recovering, but keep helping each other and see if they can help you with any disaster relief.
In Lexington, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
So one more time, the center will be open Monday from 10 in the morning until 6 in the evening, and you can still talk to a representative through the FEMA helpline. We have that number for you on the bottom of your screen right now and on WKYT.com.